Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new then hi, good one to join me on. Hi. So normally on Fridays I'll sit down and I'll do my makeup and I'll tell a story or like share a bit of my life with you. Now today's story hits hard, so I've already done my makeup off camera just because I wanted to give you all the information and I don't want to be distracted by anything. Before we start, I know you're gonna hate me, but please like and subscribe if you want to. Comment for engagement, it really helps me out, and yeah, I'll stop waffling. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna take you way back. I was about 17 and I was entering my first serious relationship, and we'd been dating for a few months and we both decided that I should go on birth control. So I go to the doctors and they test you out, they take your weight and your height and all that stuff. And they put me on a month's supply of a pill called Microgrinon 30. Now Microgrinon 30 is a pill you take for, I think it was 21 days. You have a 7-day break for your period and you go on it again after the 7 days for the 21 days, and that's the cycle. Microgrinon 30 has estrogen in it, which I didn't think would be an issue because I have estrogen in my body. I am a woman, hello, and I just thought it was like estrogen and testosterone, you know, men and women. So I didn't really get why it was so like serious, you know, because I already have estrogen in my body, like why? It's not a big deal, it's fine. I was on Microgrinon 30 for about a year and a half. They start you off with like a month's supply, then you have a pill check, and then they give you like 2 months, then you have another pill check, and then they give you 6 months, another pill check, then a year, another pill check, and I never understood why these pill checks were like so important, because like I'd go in, I'd be like, I'm literally fine. Like, I might feel a bit sick when I first started having them. It's the same for any medication. So I said, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sick, but like, honestly, I'm absolutely fine. And so they kept giving me year's supplies. So, great. So, as I said, I was on this pill for about a year and a half, 2 years, and I was no side effects, nothing. Fast forward, it was either just before or just after Christmas. I think it was, I don't know. It was around Christmas time, and I was on an online class. So I woke up in the morning and I was fine, completely fine. I got up, I went to the kitchen to get my breakfast, absolutely fine. I was living at my mum's house at this point. So I said hello to my dog, Max, in the living room, made a fuss of him, absolutely fine. I go back to my bedroom, put on my laptop, because we were all in online learning at this point. So I open my laptop, and I feel this like funny feeling in my hand, and it's almost like I'd like lay on it funny, if you know what I mean, because it was kind of like stiff and like tingly, you know. So I remember messaging the group chat for my class and being like, oh, like, ha ha ha, my hand's really tingly and really like funny, like, ha ha, funny, because I didn't realise what was about to happen. So I'm in the class and this feeling starts going all the way up my arm, the corner of my lip, I can't feel it, my kind of cheek, where you put your highlighter, cheek, I couldn't feel it, and I couldn't feel my tongue either at this point. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's like an anxiety attack, because I've had like panic attacks and anxiety attacks in the past, and my tongue goes really like numb then. So like, I don't know, maybe it's just like an anxiety attack or something. So I'm doing my breathing and I'm in my class, and my tutor, Emma, she asked me a question, and I can't even describe to you what happened. I knew in my head exactly what I wanted to say. Like, I could, in my head, I could say exactly what I wanted to say. I could say it. I knew what I wanted to say. When I opened my mouth, I don't even know. I can't even remember what came out. But it wasn't English. It wasn't any language. It was just sounds coming out, and it was weird. It was so weird. I even remember trying to read someone's name. There's a girl in our class called Anya, and I just tried to read her name, and I was going Annie, Anna. I couldn't get any words out. I couldn't do it. So I kind of panicked a bit, so I quickly exited the class, because this hand was fine. Oh, I've been doing swatches, so. Like, this half of my body was fine. It was just the right side of my body. It was completely gone. So I managed to get out of class. And then on Zoom, you have like this little chat box. So I tried typing, I'm really sorry, like something's happened. Like I tried typing something, and I was typing, you know, the stereotypical mum type. I was going, I couldn't, normally I'm like this, right? I couldn't type anything. So it took me like 10 minutes to try and type out this message. Then I looked to like review what I'd just said, and it was just letters. It wasn't words, it was just letters. And it was like, Sam can so how. I couldn't read, I couldn't type, I couldn't speak. My body was just so numb. It didn't hurt, it wasn't painful, but it was just really quite scary. So after that, I don't know what happened. My memory after that, who knows? I don't know. Can't remember. But I'm laughing because I'm trying not to cry. I laugh in serious situations. I'm really sorry. So yeah, that happened. Then a few hours later, there's just, I can't remember anything after a few hours later. And I told my mum, I was like, hey, like this happened, because she was in bed at this point. This was like 9 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? She was right, we're phoning an ambulance. And I said, no, it's fine, because I'm fine now. Like there's nothing wrong with me now. Like I've just got a really bad headache, but other than that, there's literally nothing wrong with me. So there's no point phoning the ambulance, because what are they gonna say? I'm very much like that. I don't, you know, if I'm in the middle of a stroke, fine, phone the ambulance, but like what are they gonna do now, you know? So the whole day I had a really bad headache on this side of my head, like the opposite side. The drugs van! Sorry, please hold. Okay, I thought it was going again then. Okay, so yeah, the opposite side of my head, I had this really bad headache. And like, it's almost like, you know, when you're so tired, your eyes hurt. It was a bit like that as well. And I went on with my day. So it gets to about 8, 9 o'clock at night, and my headache, like I've been taking painkillers and pain medication. My headache's not going away. It hurts so bad, and I'm over the toilet because I'm like this close to throwing up. I don't know, it just hit me all of a sudden. Like I have quite bad nausea anyway, like it's just something that I have. Sometimes like my acid reflux is like shot. But this, it was something different. Like I was going to be sick, but I wasn't. Like it's so weird, I don't know. So I was over the toilet, and my mum was like, right, that's it, I'm phoning 111, which is like the non-emergency, still quite serious phone number. So there was this woman on the phone, and she spoke to my mum for a bit, because I'm literally like, I can't talk, otherwise I will be sick. About 15 minutes later, my mum comes over and says, Caitlin, this woman, she needs to talk to you. Like, I can't, you know, you're the one going through this, talk to her. So I basically just explained everything. Like my hand went numb at first, then it moved up to my face and then my tongue, and I couldn't speak and I couldn't like move anything. And she was like, right, okay, well, we're gonna send an ambulance for you. And I was, the first thing that went into my head when she said that was like, oh God, like, oh, brilliant. Like all the neighbours are gonna know exactly what's happening. Like brilliant. Like, which, if you need an ambulance, get an ambulance, okay? Okay. So I was there and this woman's talking to me and she said, yeah, we're gonna get an ambulance for you, like pack a bag because you might need to stay over. And we're like, oh my god, like great, brilliant, wonderful. So by this point it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm in the living room, my mum's in the living room, we've packed our stuff, we've packed bags, and we're just kind of waiting. Just not much you can do. It gets to about 1 a.m. and we're both really tired. Like I'd been up since like 9 because I had class. My mum had been up and we were just so tired. So my mum phones 999 and says, hi, we've been told that there's an ambulance coming for us. We haven't heard anything. What's going on? And this woman says, oh, like we're really sorry. We're experiencing like a lot, like it's busy right now. Because of course I had to have the stroke when it was busy. They were saying, yeah, it's really busy right now, but we will get to you, and like the paramedics will get to you as soon as possible. It gets to 5 a.m. 5 a.m. So that's like 7 hours, 8 hours we've been waiting for this ambulance. I've fallen asleep on the sofa, and obviously it's pretty obvious when an ambulance pulls into your drive because it's an ambulance. And my mum wakes me up, she says, Caitlin, the ambulance is here. And I was like, right, okay. So I sit up. Obviously the dog's going mental because the dog just wants to play with everyone. But the paramedics come in, they do like is it like a CT scan? I don't know, like the heartbeat thing. They do loads of tests, like the blood tests, all that kind of stuff, and they basically turned around and said, well, we can't really do anything. Like, you've already had this like attack, because we didn't really know what it was at first. They said, you've already had this attack, and like if you were like having it now, then we'd be able to like do something. But they said, do you want to come to the hospital? Like, we can put you in the ambulance, you can come in the hospital, we can, keep you overnight, monitor you. And I just said, literally, there's no point. Like, there is no point. And until like a few days later, my memory was still kind of weird about it until that point. But I said, there's literally no point, I don't want to go. Like, I just want to go to sleep. It's like 6 a.m. I've had like 3 hours sleep. I'm like, I just want to go to bed. Like, please let me go to bed. So they were like, right, okay, not much we can do. Like, if it happens again, let us know. Not much we can do. I did tell them a few years, it was when I was like 13, I want to say. I did have like half my body go numb, but I could still speak. It's just like, it's the same half, the right half of my body just went really, really numb. I don't know, I did tell them that, but they were like, well, if it happens again, just let us know. So the next day, I have a pill check. I have a pill check and I walk in and they said, right, on your record, the ambulance, you've had an ambulance called for you, what's happened? So explain everything that's happened, and they said, right, well, I'm gonna have to get like the head nurse to come in and talk to you about this. And I was like, okay. So I come in and this head nurse goes, yeah, so the pill that you're on has estrogen in it. And I'm like, yeah. And she says, well, that can cause blood clots and it can cause strokes. And I was like, oh. And she says, what you're explaining, it's a stroke. They said it's most likely a TIE, which is TIE, TIA, TI something. I don't know. My memory is shot. It's basically a mini stroke. You get over it kind of on your own. You don't need medical assistance. But it's still quite serious. Like, it's a stroke. But like, yeah, it's a kind of one that you kind of get over and you don't need like care after it. They said, yeah, estrogen can cause TIEs or like major strokes. And so we're gonna change your birth control pill to one without estrogen in it. And I'm thinking, why didn't you do that in the first place then? Like, if estrogen is known to cause strokes and like cancer and all this stuff, Why is it a thing? Why is it a thing? And she's like, yeah, we're just gonna change your pill and then you're gonna have a pill check in like 3 months. And I was like, okay. Okay. So yeah, that was the basic story, but I'm going to tell you like some side effects and stuff. We play this word association game in acting, and it's like, I'll turn to you and go like pencil, and you have to go like pen, paper. I can't do that. My brain isn't fast. I still have really bad memory issues, and I still have like, you know when you're trying to find a word, like you know what the word means, and it's on the tip of your tongue and you just can't think of it. I have that a lot. So my brain is still quite foggy, and they did say that I'd be having like side effects for maybe a while, like who knows, but hopefully soon it will kind of chill out a little bit. So yeah, I do make jokes on my channel about strokes all the time, and that's why I've had a few people be like, what? But that's why I had a stroke at 19 due to my birth control. Yeah, just a fun little story time today. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and be careful on your pills, okay? Do your research. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. It's just a fun little one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.